Pushing your limits is key to growth, but too much training without enough recovery can backfire, leading to a serious condition called overtraining. Overtraining doesn't just stall your progress, it can wreck your physical health, mental well-being, and long-term performance. Recognizing the early warning signs is crucial if you want to stay strong, healthy, and motivated. We'll dive deep into the symptoms of overtraining, what causes it, and the steps you can take to recover and protect yourself moving forward. Today, we will talk about signs you're overtraining and what to do about it. Understanding overtraining, when exercise turns against you. Exercise is fundamental to a healthy lifestyle, but when pushed too far without sufficient rest, it can lead to a condition known as overtraining. Overtraining syndrome, OTS, happens when the body is exposed to excessive physical stress without adequate recovery time, resulting in a decline in performance and physical and mental health issues. It's often mistakenly celebrated in competitive sports and fitness culture, where more is better is encouraged. But the reality is that the human body needs a delicate balance between stress, training, and recovery to grow stronger. Overtraining disrupts this balance, leading to more harm than good. Athletes, fitness enthusiasts, and even casual exercisers can experience overtraining if they ignore the body's need for rest, and learning to recognize the signs early is critical for prevention and healing. Physical symptoms of overtraining. Listening to your body's warning bells. The body often gives clear signs that it is being pushed beyond its limits, and physical symptoms are typically the first indicators of overtraining. Chronic muscle soreness that persists for days beyond normal post-workout discomfort is a common sign. When muscles don't recover, they remain inflamed and sensitive, and performance steadily declines. Persistent fatigue is another red flag. It feels deeper than normal tiredness and doesn't resolve with a good night's sleep. Increased incidence of injuries such as stress fractures, joint pain, or tendinitis can also signal overtraining, as fatigued muscles lose the ability to properly support and stabilize joints. A suppressed immune system may show up through frequent colds, infections, or slow wound healing. Changes in resting heart rate, particularly a consistently elevated rate in the morning, can indicate the heart is under stress even at rest. Gastrointestinal issues like loss of appetite, nausea, or digestive distress may also accompany overtraining due to the body operating in a stressed state. Mental and emotional symptoms. When overtraining affects the mind, overtraining doesn't only harm the body, it has profound effects on mental and emotional well-being as well. Mood disturbances such as irritability, depression, anxiety, or emotional instability are frequent. These symptoms arise because chronic physical stress affects the hormonal balance, particularly by elevating cortisol, the stress hormone, and suppressing serotonin and dopamine, the chemicals responsible for happiness and well-being. Sleep disturbances like insomnia or restless, poor quality sleep also often accompany overtraining, compounding the body's inability to recover. A noticeable lack of motivation to train, loss of enthusiasm for workouts that once brought joy, and feelings of dread towards exercise are psychological warning signs that should never be ignored. Cognitive difficulties, including trouble concentrating, forgetfulness, and decreased mental sharpness, also manifest, showing that the brain itself is affected by the prolonged stress response. Performance decline, a clear indicator something is wrong. One of the clearest and most discouraging signs of overtraining is a decline in athletic performance despite continued or even intensified efforts. Workouts that once felt challenging but manageable suddenly feel harder, and progress may stall or even regress. Strength levels, endurance, speed, and agility can all diminish. Athletes may notice that their body becomes less responsive to training stimuli, meaning they fail to achieve personal bests or even maintain previous levels. Increased perceived effort during exercise, where the same activity feels significantly harder than it used to, it's a strong sign of overtraining. Recovery times between training sessions may also lengthen, and the body's ability to bounce back from strenuous efforts weakens. Unfortunately, many respond to these setbacks by increasing training volume or intensity, which exacerbates the problem. Hormonal and metabolic imbalances, hidden internal changes. Beyond the visible and tangible signs, overtraining leads to significant internal changes that can disrupt overall health. Chronic overtraining can cause hormonal imbalances, particularly in testosterone, cortisol, and thyroid hormones. In men, low testosterone levels can reduce muscle mass, energy, and libido, while women may experience disruptions to their menstrual cycles or even amenorrhea, loss of menstruation, which carries long-term consequences for bone health. Cortisol levels, chronically elevated due to constant stress, can contribute to fat gain, particularly around the abdomen, despite high levels of physical activity. Metabolic rate can slow down, making it harder to maintain or lose weight. Over time, this imbalance can lead to conditions such as insulin resistance or even relative energy deficiency in sport, RED-S, which affects cardiovascular, reproductive, and skeletal systems. Root causes. Why overtraining happens. Several factors contribute to the development of overtraining. A lack of proper periodization in training programs is a major culprit, meaning individuals don't cycle through phases of intensity, volume, and recovery appropriately. Skipping rest days, engaging in high-intensity sessions too frequently, and neglecting active recovery practices all set the stage for overtraining. Poor nutrition exacerbates the problem. Without adequate calories, protein, and micronutrients, the body lacks the building blocks it needs to repair itself. Sleep deprivation, whether due to lifestyle factors or as a consequence of overtraining itself, impedes the body's ability to recover. Psychological factors like perfectionism, fear of losing progress, or external pressures to perform can push individuals to ignore early warning signs. Sometimes, overtraining is compounded by life stressors outside of exercise, such as work, relationships, or financial concerns, creating an overall stress state that the body cannot cope with. How to recover? Steps toward healing and prevention. Recovering from overtraining requires a comprehensive and patient approach. The first step is to recognize and accept the problem. Denial only prolongs the damage. A period of complete rest, lasting anywhere from a few days to several weeks depending on severity, is often necessary to allow the body and mind to reset. Incorporating active recovery strategies such as low-intensity activities like yoga, walking, or swimming can aid in healing without further taxing the system. Proper nutrition is crucial. Focus on replenishing glycogen stores, consuming high-quality proteins for muscle repair, and ensuring intake of vitamins and minerals through whole foods or supplementation if needed. Sleep should be prioritized, aiming for at least 8 to 9 hours per night, and creating a bedtime routine that promotes deep, restorative rest is essential. Stress reduction techniques like meditation, breathwork, or gentle stretching can help calm the nervous system. Once symptoms subside, a gradual return to exercise is necessary, starting with lower intensity and volume and monitoring how the body responds before ramping up training again. Preventing overtraining, building a sustainable fitness routine. The best way to deal with overtraining is to prevent it from happening in the first place. Structuring a smart training plan with intentional periods of work and recovery is fundamental. Adopting periodization strategies that cycle through different phases, build, peak, taper, and rest, ensures that the body is continually challenged but also given time to adapt. Listening to the body's signals rather than rigidly adhering to a predetermined program is vital. Tracking training loads, sleep quality, mood, and performance metrics can provide early warnings of impending overtraining. Ensuring a nutrient-dense diet that matches the training demands prevents energy deficits that can weaken the body over time. Prioritizing sleep and creating a lifestyle that balances physical activity with stress management practices lays the foundation for sustainable fitness. Most importantly, cultivating a mindset that values rest as a critical component of progress rather than a weakness is essential. The importance of professional guidance, knowing when to seek help. Sometimes recognizing and managing overtraining on your own can be difficult, especially when symptoms are severe or confusing. In such cases, seeking professional guidance from healthcare providers, sports medicine doctors, physical therapists, or experienced coaches is essential. These professionals can conduct comprehensive evaluations, including blood tests to check for hormonal imbalances, nutrient deficiencies, and markers of systemic inflammation. They can also assess training plans, sleep patterns, and nutritional habits to identify areas needing adjustment. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay glowing with Glodian. See you in the next video.